This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The Trippers, the Grasshoppers, the Hit Ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Razor Consultants are standing by. We'll take caller 9-844-999-OLA, and you'll play Profile This in minutes. And we do have your headlines on the way 1 hour from now. First, quick check-in to Mike Hawk for some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, a new study found people with expensive sport cars like Corvettes and Porsches barely drive them. They drive less than 5,000 miles a year, which is around 60% below average for all cars.
You have a sports car. You drive it everywhere, don't you?
Oh, I put way too many miles on that thing.
You don't care.
But it's your one car, right?
Correct.
I think most guys that own the Corvettes and the Porsches have another car they're driving to work, man.
Yes. Yeah. There's a new prank that's spreading around the internet right now. If you scratch a message into a banana peel, a few hours later, the letters turn brown. So the person who buys the banana will think they got a message from a ghost.
Dude, I saw that. I saw that a while. That is so cool and evil.
Cool, but I just love the fact
scratching
that
it. I mean, like
take like a needle, right? So you just go into the peel, so you could write like "I hate you," something like that.
Do it
then
with
it turns
finger.
brown.
I want to do
Or
it.
just like I know what you did. Get out.
No, I'm doing that in somebody else's house. Well,
that's the idea. When they buy them, you got to get them home, and once they brown up a little bit, then the message shows up.
Yeah, but think about this: you go to somebody's house, right? They got bananas on the counter. They take off for a little while. You're like a message.
Get out.
You're like, your meatloaf blows.
Dang.
I inserted one of your toothbrushes in my anus.
Exactly. Like,
I have licked one of these bananas.
this was in my butt.
Look for spiders.
Butt banana.
A 63-year-old gas station worker got sucker punched by a customer earlier this month, and it might have saved his life because he got a CT scan and doctors found a brain tumor. Because they found it early, he should be okay.
All right.
Did they go back and thank the person who sucker punched him?
At this point,
I'm Dr. Sucker Punch.
How do you go back to the guy that sucker punched you and ran away?
That's a good point. That's a strong point.
you know,
That's
you
kinda
can't.
like
You
your
can't
thing
be.
of saying like, "Oh, I was so lucky I survived this car accident." Like, well, you've been luckier if you hadn't been in it. So I think it's the same thing. Like, this happened to be a nice silver lining, but you don't need to be like, "Hey, thanks for punching me."
No,
in
but
the face.
keep in mind, the silver lining is that there's something wrong with you.
No one feels great about being assaulted.
No. It says, here are the elements of a perfect nap, according to a new survey.
Perfect nap. All right.
Sleep.
Temperature?
I got some of this. Yeah, it's got to be cool, I would guess.
Cool room is one of them, yeah.
Dark.
It's dark.
Quiet. It's the middle of the day normally, so you want to get rid of the sunlight.
No, nothing about that.
No, turn your ringer off.
Nothing about that.
Temperature, maybe the right
Dark, cool,
Pillow?
quiet, man.
Say what now, Ted?
pillow.
It says with a blanket and one pillow with a pet.
With a
Oh, yeah.
After a meal or exercising.
Do you just pick someone's pet up and...
Pretty much.
Yeah, anyone's pet will do.
Mere kittens.
Yeah.
After a meal or exercising, which is funny, because those are the two best naps, which is polar opposites.
Right.
Like, you take a nap after you exercise, like, yeah, no
Feel good
biggie.
about myself.
But, I mean, I won't lie, I love a nap after eating a big meal, which I know is just the worst thing for you.
You always,
so
'cause
good,
you
Ted.
always go like, that was a good thing we took that walk back.
It says it also lasts longer than 20 minutes.
There's a fine line between. I went too far on the nap. I think I don't know where that is, but now I'm just yawning for the rest of the day.
Right.
And I can't go to bed at night. Like, I don't know. I think you could almost nap too much sometimes.
Yeah, there's that one that lasts about 45 minutes where you just start getting into that REM sleep, and then you just jut awake, and so it feels like you're coming out of an alternate
To
dimension.
me, the nightmare of an REM sleep is like if the actual band REM starts playing through all of your dreams.
But the frequency can't.
Like, wake me up!
Oh, shouting happy people's on.
Back in
Some
May,
suck.
police in Florida seized $20,000 in cash from a woman because they thought it was drug money. She claimed she made it stripping, and a judge just gave it all back to her after finding out the bills were covered in glitter.
Yeah, and I want to say
For
that
real,
was,
man.
It was like in Miami or something,
Yeah, it
right?
was.
It
And
was
it
in a
was-
city where, like, strip club culture is massive.
Right.
Yeah, she's pretty popular. All the money was in the trunk. I mean,
Who says drug money can't have glitter on it?
Like, there's all kinds of things that obviously you could say.
Well,
like,
who
are
says stripper
questionable,
money
but
can't have coke on?
They
That's
really
right.
they really wanted that money, man. And it's like, look, you took everything else. You know, now you got to seize the money. Like, I'm glad that she got her money back because she earned
She
that
earned
money.
it.
Exactly.
Well, part of the reason she got it back is the search and seizure was
It's
illegal.
illegal, right?
Yeah.
They went into the trunk where she had her money, and it
probably-
wasn't part of that.
I bet you the judge was like, "Oh, I know her. She earned that." Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Oh, Miss Kitty Nipples? Yeah. No, that's hers.
A pharmacist in Berlin has been sentenced to 12 years in prison for skimming money by, you son of a gun, diluting people's cancer medications.
Oh, my God, man.
12 years.
I mean, God damn.
Well, you're right.
I mean, golly, man.
I don't even understand. I don't know if I understand how that would even work.
Well, they're going to keep
sells
coming
more of
back.
it.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I see.
Sell
Charge
them
the full
more.
price.
Charge
Don't
the full
buy
price.
as much inventory because you don't
Good
have
Lord,
to.
man.
There's a special spot for you there, fella.
No, they're building it now. Even in hell, they're like, wait, he did what?
Right.
Like, damn, okay.
Two guys recently tried to steal a bunch of stuff from a Walmart in Atlanta by dressing up as employees. But some actual employees realized what they were doing and stopped them.
Good.
Oh, hey, by the way, a couple comments came in. It says, apparently the best time for a nap is when you call the men's room.
Ah, correct.
Yes, it
Thank you.
is.
By the way, those of you who may have been listening earlier, we had a gentleman named Holden who was literally Holden on the line for a while.
was.
He fell asleep, man. And every time we checked in on this guy, he's snoring. Now everyone's wondering what happened. He woke up,
He woke up from his nap.
about 45 minutes ago,
Yes.
and he went away.
He was doing good, though. You talked to him, Mike.
Oh, yeah, he felt good, you know. He
said he
needed
works
it.
hard.
Yeah,
and
he was
yeah.
bummed
He
out.
does. He's had a long day of work. He had a good day's sleep, and he's re-energized, ready to go. He's going to go have a cigarette.
I'm glad we could do that for him.
Yeah. We gave enough energy to go smoke.
We're
That's
like
right.
5-hour energy.
Yeah.
Fall asleep during our show.
better. I'm going to go get a cigarette.
Let's do it. A couple in Ohio came home on Friday to find a random man sleeping in their bed, holding his junk in one hand
All right, well, that's a common move.
and a hatchet in the other.
Oh, that's not common.
So let me just revisit that story about the elements of a perfect nap.
I need a meat cleaver and my penis in my hand. And so in a stranger's bed.
Strange bed.
You know, some people, like, when they sleep, right, like, they'll grab their junk, or
Sure.
some people
No.
might itch their butt.
Yeah.
I walked by a person, like, sleeping on a couch outside, and literally, like, their pants were, like, kind of halfway down, and they just had their hand on their one butt.
On her
cheek.
butt? Yeah, I'll do a butthole. every
making
once
sure
in a
it's
while.
there, too.
Yeah.
I just
wrong with
weird. Right.
If I had a butt to hold on to, I would.
You take a picture of that and you get it on a T-shirt for him.
A man in Miami had been posing as a Saudi prince to scam people out of money, but got caught when someone saw him eat bacon and realized he probably wasn't a Muslim.
Oh, bacon again. So
That's how
irresistible.
you foiled this whole
come
thing.
on.
You are not a Saudi prince.
You can't deny bacon. Religion can't beat bacon.
Publicly.
I'm sorry, not publicly. You can't. It doesn't win.
No, I'm saying publicly they
Yeah.
do. I had a buddy who lived in India, and I'm like, man, really? So like, they're not eating cows. And he's, man, so when the lights go out and the sun goes down, there are fewer cows on the
Yeah,
street.
but you know
Believe me.
bacon
Yeah.
is the top-notch food of the meat world, so you can't deny. Religion can't beat bacon.
But if you're trying to say you're a prince of Saudi Arabia,
he's got thick-cut peppered bacon. Like if you're,
I'll bet you they eat more bacon than anybody knows.
They have
But like
they
you
have
said, not
barbecues.
public.
you would
Right,
sit in a
right,
restaurant
exactly.
and order up
No.
side of pork.
Where's like the up and coming city, super tall skyscraper, Dubai, right?
Yeah.
So we knew a couple guys who used to do business in Dubai, and they said, man, it's a very strict country. Right? Like there are no drugs, no prostitution, no alcohol. So what do you guys do? Well, as soon as we land, we get picked up by Russian hookers in a limo, and we're drinking our face off. I'm like, well, I thought it's illegal. It's like, oh, sorry, for poor people.
Yeah.
He's like, everywhere you go, man, every hotel they stay at, he's like, it's nothing but hookers and blow and booze. So everything that's illegal, quote unquote. He's like, hell yeah, you got a bacon bomb on the tray when they're walking by.
They're not stopping the coke boat from pulling into harbor in Dubai.
They can tell
They don't-
you
They don't have the
did.
drug task force come on and go, oh, what are we going to do with all this? Aren't we important? We just got $20 million worth of blow. No, they go like, take that to the hotel so we can sell it, you dumbasses.
A man in the UK was mugged of the money that he'd made selling his motorcycle, but the muggers did not leave him empty-handed.
What'd they leave him with?
I'll tell you all about it 1 hour from now.
Thank you, Mike Hawk. Headlines are on the way 1 hour from now. First, the game is...
The Men's Room presents Profile
And
This.
Stephen Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes a story a story. Miles, Ted, Robin, can you smell my fart?
I cannot.
It is god-awful. I'm glad it's staying over here. I apologize
Hurry up
in
then.
advance.
Hurry up.
Hello, Dean. Welcome to the men's room.
Guten Tag.
Montag. All right, Dean, you understand how this here game is played?
I believe so, yes.
Fantastic. Quick side note, have not met a lot of women named Dean. And when I
Dean?
say not a lot, I'm saying I've met none.
And Dean, you're going to do this quickly.
I'm not a woman, thank you.
Oh, really? All right, Dean. Well, that's exciting news. Dean, do me a favor. Just remember, you're going to have this conversation 1 million more times before you die.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Okay, it's all right. How old are you, Dean?
I'm about to turn 23.
23. Okay.
I will be goddamn.
What's the highest note you can hit, Dean? Let me hear a little high note. Give us something. Sing. Seriously. What do you got? Ted can hit a high note. You know you got one.
Not on key, but yes, you can hit I know.
You got one?
That count?
Yeah, I guess so. Whatever. That's terrible.
All right.
That's terrible.
All right, here's your story, dude, Dean. We go to San Antonio, Texas, where a man was accused of robbing a bank last month. But he ended up getting caught a month later because the cops knew what he looked like, but he was still going out in public. But he went out in public in disguise. And in this case, the 17-year-old is charged with robbery and aggravated robbery. This after the police spotted him in a car with his mother and noticed something peculiar about the passenger. And in this case, it was a lovely young woman with long hair until they got a good look and realized this lovely young woman also had a mustache and otherwise matched the description of the guy that they've been looking for robbing the bank. It turned out he was, in fact, the guy they were looking for. His mother was not identified, nor do they believe she had any idea about it. Anyway, he has been charged and is in jail. Do you believe that this man with the mustache and the wig is black, white, Mexi, or Asian?
Say that again. Your phone broke up, Dean. You're still breaking up. Oh, Dean, your phone just took a huge crap on you. We can't hear you at all.
I have no idea what the hell.
Move around in your room or wherever you are. Get out of your parents' basement. Is Dean gone?
I got nothing. Yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm going to go. It can't be Asian. Mustache.
Right.
Mustache was prominent, and you can see it.
See it enough.
Okay. I'm going white. I think it's prominent, and you can see the mustache. It just seems like you can see a white guy.
The mustache was real?
White guys, you can just see it more. You can just, it pops more, you know? Because if your hair's a different color, it's just, you know.
I'll say black.
Black?
Yeah.
All right. Ted goes black. I'm going to go white. Okay. We're going to find out if he was black, white, Mexican, or Asian next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bichola. You have entered the men's room.
All right, we head to the Lone Star State on profile. This San Antonio, Texas, to be exact. A bank robber, 17 years old. He was busted based on the fact that surveillance caught him in a car with his mother in disguise. It's not known whether his mother was in on this or not. She said she was not. I guess authorities did agree, but either way, that's the way they busted the guy.
Yeah, and the question was, did you believe this guy with the mustache and the wig is black, white, Mexi, or Asian?
And I went white as Dean got cut off the line there, and Ted, you went black.
That's
correct.
One of you gets up, and one of you gets up. He was... black.
Oh,
Nice.
no, white
Damn
people.
you, black man in the wig.
White and bank robbing, that's what we do.
But not
Damn
with
it.
wigs, man. You wear the wig when you go in.
All
Us
right.
black folks, we put the wig on after we robbed your place.
We do baseball hats, aviators, and a backpack. Anyway, now for all the TV news all the time, and it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box,
Armageddon.
the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
You guys always talk about your love for Evel Knievel when you were kids.
Oh, hell yeah.
So part of the thing with Evel Knievel is that he never actually, he never really competed or completed a bunch of the jumps.
Now, again, as a kid, we didn't really recognize how bad he was at being a daredevil. Like, he was a good daredevil because he was fearless, but he was not a great stuntman because he crashed every time we ever saw him.
And in Evel Knievel's defense, the bikes he were using were older, they were heavier.
Sure.
Right, so like other people have done some of his stunts, right? Like jumping the Caesar Palace fountains. I think even his own son has done it.
I think his son did that one, didn't it?
But he did it with a lighter, faster bike.
Right. Dangerous.
Yeah.
Right, so it's still kind of a thing, but nobody had done it on the bike, the same kind of bike model that Evel had done it on. So Travis Pastrana,
including Evel Knievel.
right? So Travis Pastrana, you would know him from I feel like any export.
Am I not mistaken? Wasn't he on our show once?
Travis
He
Pastrana?
was.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Nitro Circus.
Yeah.
Right. Which they're about to do a residency in Vegas, as he revealed.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
like,
I thought we'd had him on.
right. He's just a crazy dude. Like, he jumped out of a plane without a parachute. Like, he's
That
guy.
tells you what you need to
Also
know.
a Mailander from the state.
Uh-huh.
So basically, here's the deal. He's going to do 3 iconic jumps in one evening in Vegas, right? The last one, obviously, finishing up with the Caesar Palace jump. If you watched any of this, they mentioned about 1,000 times that there is only 200 feet lead up as opposed to 400. I guess, because it's changed over the years.
Right.
So, but this was his attempt at the record-breaking one to do it on the same bike as Evil did at Caesars.
I think this is going to be it, folks. Travis Pastrana, he will go! Oh! And history has been made once again! Travis Pastrana did what the icon who inspired this all couldn't do. He just nailed the jump at Caesar's Palace Fountain. And look at him burning out to celebrate. How are you feeling, buddy?
Man, it's just such an honor to live a day in Evil's footsteps, and it literally is boots. Thank you all for coming out. I mean, to be here in Las Vegas, so much of my history has been here. I proposed to my wife here, having first Nitro Circus show here. Thank you to everyone in history. Thank you for everyone watching, and thank you to all Knievel family for coming out. And this was definitely one of the coolest things, the coolest thing I've ever been able to do, and hopefully everyone enjoyed the show.
Now, obviously, right, 3 jumps. This was going to be a huge thing, a huge broadcast, right? And it was on history. The coolest thing I thought was the Caesars jump was different. The other ones were done at a different location, right? One was like 50, and I got to check. Was it 53 buses or 52 cars? And then he jumps, then he did 13 buses, right? Actually, Travis did 16 Greyhound buses. But my point is, right, he did these 2 tricks, and then he rode on the motorcycle dressed as Evel Knievel down the strip with like a police escort, right? Which sounds kind of cool. Also, by the way, you're talking about the heat wave. It was so hot in Vegas that the helicopter couldn't take off to film this.
Jesus.
So they just have to keep like the guys at the desk, and then they have to cut back. But what's amazing is he's driving down the strip and he is popping wheelies. He's like burning the tires. He's riding over and high-fiving people. So even the guys on the set were like, is he going to ruin this bike like on the drive over? But it was, I don't know. It was one of the cooler things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it's
I'd love to watch
Travis
that.
Yeah, I've never seen it completed.
That's we used to sit there and watch.
Good news, Miles. If you go to the Men's Room Facebook page, you can see it completed.
And that's where I'll go to watch it. He would do things like at one point in time he tried to jump a pool of sharks, and as they do this stuff live as a kid, you watch it, and he had hurt himself and kind of crashed on the landing, and they were trying to get him patched up to see, can he go out and do this thing? And eventually, like anything else, they push it forward, and eventually they say, look, he can't do it.
I can't do it, man. Snake River
And
Canyon.
a lot of the stuff,
just
a lot of the
everything
stuff
he did.
A lot of the stuff he did like state fairs and things where early on when he was successful, they didn't televise this stuff. And then toward the end of his career, though those became more of, moments that you watched, and it didn't always work out.
Like ever.
Yeah.
It was like Capone's Vault. It just was always like, oh man, I just watched 3 hours of crap.
But in Evel Knievel, he kind of started the whole genre of that daredevil driving on a motorcycle.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
He
yeah.
was the guy. It was a
Dude,
national sensation.
I told you about those that just awful 10 minutes of Robbie Knievel in a bar in Vegas. Jesus, that was painful.
A little depressing.
Oh man, that was rough.
And they just kind of like drunk and depressed.
They also not only that, they also gave him a room at the hotel. Okay. But he didn't want to stay at the room, even though he was like the featured attraction. He was going to jump the volcano at the Mirage. At the Mirage. He was living in his RV out in front. Like he parked his RV in the front of the Mirage. It was he had his door open. You could go knock on the door. Go, hey Rob, you want to come out and drink some beer? He's like, yeah, man, here, what do you want? Budweiser, pop. He'd have it open for you and hand it to you.
It's kind of like John Daly does at the Masters.
It's amazing.
He just pulls his RV down there and hangs out.
He seriously does.
Yeah, and Robbie Knievel, remember, he had a reality show on, I forget what station it was for a while, but
because when they're saying the whole Knievel family is there, I'm assuming Robbie's there.
See, I'm assuming he's not.
Okay.
He does not have the a sterling reputation, to say the least. And then,
Knievel didn't have a very good one either. as a human being, not as a daredevil.
But it didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't.
Well, you didn't know, right? Like
It wasn't social media. It was just like, look, all we ever saw him, it's prime time, and he's going to do something to be really, really, really cool. And then he's going to break a bunch of bones, and we're going to watch him do it again next year.
His name is Evil.
Yeah,
Well, that's the other thing, too, with, like, Robbie, you watch a lot of reality shows, and there's people on the show you hate, but, like, you're the star. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
People might feel bad for you, but they shouldn't dislike you.
Yeah.
Right, because that was a lot of chatter, like, why isn't anybody bringing him up? But also, again, like, he did it on a different bike.
Right.
So it was pretty cool. And then some of the people they had there, like Johnny Knoxville was talking about it. Remember, he played Knievel in a movie.
Man.
I think somebody said, you do Evil, like, what would he think of this? And he's like, I never met the man.
Right.
I just played him on television.
Yeah. Right. I thought that was pretty interesting, though, man. And it was freaking cool.
I like television like that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the coolest part was watching him just popping wheelies up and down the strip, man. Pretty dope.
And if you're in Vegas, I mean, what better entertainment could you want? Because where else are you going to get that kind of stuff? You know, like
in Vegas, right?
Shot
It's the only
cannon,
place.
maybe at a fair or something. But you're never going to see someone jump like 10 buses. Maybe you do. That's cool.
Yeah, and like we always say, whenever you watch that stuff, it's always exciting. But like part of it is like that's why it's a Daredevil. Is you're tuning in to see if they crash.
That's exactly it.
I have trouble believing this is the first time it happened, but apparently Oprah Googled herself for the first time, and she was pretty pumped about it.
I Googled myself the other day for the first time, and I was reading about...
What did you think?
I was like, I am so impressed with myself. This is what I didn't know, that I was first African-American self-made billionaire. Did not know that. Donated more to charity in the 20th century than any other African-American. I said, this is really good.
That's really great.
Really good.
I will say
Just can't. You can't deny Oprah.
No.
Well, that, and I do agree, like she seems, somehow for as big as she is, star-wise, like it seems like she like stays kind of grounded.
Yeah, it doesn't
like,
come off that way.
Yeah, that's like an honest answer. Now, I'm sure, Oprah's like, she was saying like the first self-made black billionaire. So, I'm sure she has some specific taste in food and everything else. Like, you go to a restaurant.
Man, I get it. She never needed to Google herself because it's not.
She's Oprah.
She's business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that are celebrities, and it's about being a celebrity. And with her, like, I know she's very aware she's a celebrity. Obviously, she wears that on her sleeve, but she's a business person, man.
Yeah.
And all the rest of it, if it's not making her money, then it does not matter.
Yeah.
If you say, I love Oprah, is your opinion worth how much? Because if it's not, she doesn't care. She runs a business. She knows what she's doing. That's it, period.
And in the never-ending conversation everybody loves, at the royal wedding, Oprah at the last second
man.
had to change her dress because they thought it was too close to white, or like the way when it showed up and they saw it looked white. So because she's Oprah, she had Stella McCarthy or somebody.
Jesus
Just
Christ.
sewed her a dress real quick.
Like fly in, but I'm just saying,
Stella!
I respect that even Oprah was like, oh man, my dress is too white to go to this wedding. I'm going to need it. Now, granted, again, helps that you could fly in.
How many times do you think Oprah has uttered the word, something of mine is too white? She's probably like, I'm sorry, say that again? Huh. That's very strange. She's like the female version of, who again, the little
tough
Dr.
question.
Pepper guy.
It's a tough
Oh,
question.
Little Sweet.
Yeah, Little Sweet.
Little Sweet. Also,
Dr. Pepper!
Maybe her teeth.
if you don't know how much money Oprah has, like she could go to any store in England where that wedding was and buy a dress. Yeah. She flew in the woman that makes the dresses. Maybe Stella was already there. I'm just like, that is money.
Either way, man.
Right? Could you imagine, like, I don't know, let's just say that you had a bad burger at Burger King, and instead of just going back and talking to the dude and they replace the burgers, they're nice about it, you call the king himself.
Yeah, you fly in. He still doesn't say anything, but he hands you that burger.
Right? And he comes in a private jet like, hey, it's me, Mr. King. That's right.
I'm just amazed that you can even trump Paul McCartney. Mm-hmm. That's another one. Like, look, Oprah can get a dress made from anybody in the world, but that tells me right now that you're one of the best dressmakers in the world, and people will fly in to want to, your dad's Paul McCartney. I figured it was about as good as the family could get, right? But apparently not. I'm
on the phone with my father, who's Paul McCartney, and I got to hang up because Oprah's called.
There's more talented people in the building, I guess. That's kind of impressive.
Stella. Good news. Zuckerberg, Mark, is now the third richest person in the world.
Yay.
Is that up or down? I don't know.
That is up.
Oh, good.
He overtook Warren Buffett to become the world's third richest person. Is now worth, take a guess. He passed Warren Buffett.
In what, man,
15,
I don't know
$22 billion.
Up.
$40 billion.
Up.
Son of a bitch.
75 billion.
$81.6 billion.
Is that Zuckerberg?
Zuckerberg.
So so what is Bezos worth?
142.
So no one's even close.
Bill Gates has 94.
The Zos man. The Zoster.
Yeah, so he's up to third, right?
I bet this is what his coworkers call him, the Zos man.
I call him Beezy.
BB-Zonian.
I'm pretty sure Jeff Bezos, people call him Mr. Bezos.
DC, they call him the postman.
Baby.
Because he delivers the post. I bet he gets up early and delivers those papers. That's why he's doing it. That's how he made his money.
Either way, it is an insane amount of money.
Jesus Christ.
140 billion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jerry Seinfeld, for a while, has had a talk show. You might have seen it on a few things. It's just comedians in cars getting coffee.
Yeah.
Okay? So this one is with Zach Galifianakis. Now, it's kind of interesting because they're talking about interaction with people in public. I honestly thought Jerry would be a little more standoffish, but he's wide open to it.
You ever look at it as that's rude to take out your phone and to film someone without permission?
Not if you're a well-known person. I think you got to accept that.
What?
I'm out in public. There's no privacy out in public. That's why it's called public.
You're in a restaurant and someone's filming you there.
That's fine. Zach, nobody's interested. Nobody cares.
I'm not saying.
No one's going to watch it.
It's the principle of it, I guess.
Well, look, I am very big on etiquette and civility and
it seems
dignity.
like you would be that kind of guy. You always have that.
I am, but I don't see that as an incursion on my privacy or my dignity, or I don't find it rude.
Wonderful, because I have a show I want to pitch you called Celebrity Toilet Cams.
I just like the way Jerry said it. Goes, well, that's what they call it, out in public.
Public. Yeah.
I think that's good that I like they're between the two ferns. The Seinfeld. So I'm assuming they said, like, all right, you come on mine, I'll come on yours.
Yeah, I would have to assume that. I mean, it's kind of like how the podcast world works, right? Mm-hmm. You have a podcast, you generally go on others, and they try to get on yours. Yep. Because there's a lot of them too. But yeah, I mean, Jerry Seinfeld is notorious for kind of being, I don't know, not mean or nothing, but just Jerry Seinfeld. We all saw that incident with Kesha and this and that.
Yeah,
so
you want to hug her. Like, I don't know you.
But Jerry Seinfeld also, I truly believe, is one of those people, like we always say, like, you're not going to see him coming out of the Grove or whatever,
right.
or, walking out of whatever is the hottest club at that point.
To be seen.
I can't believe the paparazzi. There are 150 of them standing outside when you got here.
Yeah, and even like a lot of restaurants, like I've been.
Could you call them to let them know you're going to be there?
Right, like I was in a restaurant once where AC/DC was.
All right.
Right? And at the end of the meal, like after they had left, somebody was like, man, AC/DC was back in the back room. So it's like you could, even if you don't want to be
they
in
don't
public,
want paparazzi.
Right. You can still go, I'm sure,
to
the fancy restaurant you want to and get a room and be just fine. Did hear, by the way, very good tippers.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've eaten in that room, believe it or not. Because everyone said, this is the AC/DC room. I'm like, get out of here. It was just the fact that we had more than 6 people. So they have to put us in a room because they didn't have a table.
Did you get the black Angus
They were
on
like,
steak?
get out of here. Yeah, is it the same place I'm thinking of in Tacoma?
Negative.
Oh, okay, different place. Yeah. I'll write this down for you.
What do you think about golf? No.
Yeah.
What do you think about golf? Tiger Woods obviously is I think Tiger Woods has the biggest impact on golf of all time.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Now, as I say that, I'm going to nitpick it and also say I still think Jack Nicklaus, just because of number of championships, is the best golfer to ever play.
Sure.
Right. But Tiger Woods, obviously one of the more famous golfers. So basically, there's a story floating around that him and Phil Mickelson are planning a $10 million head-to-head winner-take-all showdown.
I read something. Is that a real thing?
I guess so.
It's the only way you can get Mickelson on the course. You got to have some action on it.
Cheating Phil?
Oh, Phil loves action.
Yeah.
He bets on everything.
Yeah. Can we start calling him Cheating Phil now?
Is he a cheater?
Yeah, remember? He went over and
Oh, at the U.S. Open?
Yeah.
That's not really cheating. That's giving up.
I was going quitter.
Yeah,
Phil.
quitter Phil.
Golf.com says it's an 18-hole death match.
Death match.
What's
They
the one's gonna
literally
die at
will
the
kill
end?
each other.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I know, man. It's like, come on, man. It's a golf match. Death match seems a little impressive.
You want a guy who likes boobs or a guy who has them?
I guess it's been in the works for a month. For months now, they played basically, this year at a tournament, they were paired together, and everybody was pumped, right? Because Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods are two of the biggest golfers in the last 10
They're awesome.
to 20 years, right? So people were just pumped, and I kind of like the idea. It's like, well, why don't we just plan a whole event where it's just the two of us playing for a large amount of money, and people would watch it.
You have to see the galleries.
I would watch it.
But with the galleries just at the U.S. Open, following those guys around, I mean, it's the majority. You can almost follow any other golfer and talk to them one-on-one because everyone's following them. I mean, the crowds are, like, if you stay away from them, there's no beer line. If you go with them, you forget it. You know, it's just hundreds and thousands of people.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. All right, Mike's got your headlines coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go as we head to Florida, where a man and child dangle high above the gators on the zip line at Gatorland. Meanwhile, a Fairbanks man suspects his friend has meth, so he checks his under his scrotum with his hand. Wisconsin woman has cocaine, meth, marijuana, X, and spice all up inside her. Man says it was muggers with a coffee cup that made his butt wider. And Miami cops have to give back the $20,000 they tried to steal from a stripper. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's Mike Hawk.
All right, our top story in the UK. A man was mugged of the 500 pounds that he had made selling his motorcycle. An encounter that left him knocked unconscious. When he came to, he had severe abdominal pain, and 10 days after the attack, the pain persisted, so he decided to go to the hospital to get it checked out. Scans that he received at the hospital revealed that the man had a metal cup shoved up his anus during the attack.
Metal cup. Do we buy this?
I don't, but I'm cynical. But if it's true, is that truly getting mugged?
Oh,
you got mugged.
Oh, man, we thought mugging meant, all right.
You know.
So you're just supposed to beat him up and that's it? Okay, steal their stuff?
That's the thing, is that everything in the story makes it sound like nobody's buying it. You know, the man claims that it was from muggers.
Well, it's just...
Makes you feel different about being in the mug club now, doesn't it?
Mug of the month. Listen,
what number were you?
If somebody beat my ass, stole my money, and then I'm suffering abdominal pains, I don't wait 10 days to go to the hospital because someone is physically, I don't know what's going wrong.
Poop.
If I know that I've quote unquote mugged myself, the embarrassment I have over it, maybe I wait 10 days. But I can't believe you get your ass handed to you by strangers to steal your money. You come to after being unconscious, right? There's something wrong with your abdomen, and you're like, yeah, wait 10 days.
My thing is,
come on.
I've never had anything up my rectum like that, so I don't know what that kind of pain is.
You've never been in a mug club before?
No,
like you've been to a bar
I've never
where
been in
mugs
there.
hanging up there?
This might shock you,
You never had a mug shot?
You wonder how you got to do that? People think you got to drink so many and all that stuff. Apparently not.
Anyway, I don't know how severe this pain is. He might have just written it off as I got kicked in the gut while I was getting mugged.
He may. I just feel like, man.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how much pain there would be there.
Look, man, even though the pain's in your abdomen, I think you can still trace what direction it came from.
Right. This stretched something else long before it started hurting his abdomen.
Stretch out your butt, man. They put a cup, I feel like that's on him.
It's not just your abdomen that's in pain here. Let's be real.
Right.
In other news, we go to Florida to a theme park lovingly known as Gatorland, where patrons can see all kinds of animals and take part in various activities such as an adventure tour, rookie gator wrestling, see performances, and even enjoy a, quote, screamin' gator zip line where people fly over the top of a gator enclosure for thrills.
While you listen to Tom Petty.
If this sounds like a bad idea, you're right, because a man and his son got stuck on the zip line hovering 40 feet over the pool of gators below.
It's already bad enough if it malfunctions, and you know no matter what zip line you are, no matter where you are, the possibility is you could fall or run into somebody on that line.
Correct.
That's not going to be good. But when that happens and you get knocked off, ideally, you don't want to fall 50 feet, but if you do, you don't want to fall into a swamp of gators.
Right, you don't want gator water to break
how do I make it more like Pitfall? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, how do I make my basic life more like Pitfall?
Don't worry, though, Miles. The park says that this kind of thing happens all the time, and that employees are well-trained for just such an inconvenience.
Yeah, chill out, dude.
The two were freed from the ride about 25 minutes after the attack. They said, no worries. They're not in any danger.
It happens all the time.
It happens all the time.
It's not supposed to happen all the time, though.
The gators love it. They jump up. It's kind of
It's a raining man.
Yeah, how do you
Hallelujah, it's raining
think? You
man.
get a statue of Captain Hook when you walk in.
That's right. We take to the seas for this headline. Quote, cruise ship's no-slip floor caused a cornhole injury.
Oh, this guy.
Oh, no.
Right.
This guy.
This guy's a jackass.
This guy.
Apparently, the ship had a no-slip floor installed where patrons can play the game cornhole, not allowing one man to properly shift his weight while playing the game, causing him to fall and injure himself.
He's saying when he puts his front step forward, his toss step,
Right. Yeah.
that needs to slide like if you were bowling.
Right.
And if it doesn't slide, then he's going to hurt himself.
Well,
He's
guess
suing-
That's BS. That's not even how you like. You're
That's what I'm saying.
playing on, like,
Correct.
concrete.
Yeah.
And
Or
that's
asphalt.
on you, man.
Right.
I mean,
He's-
that's on you. Some tennis players play better on clay, but when
Carson-
they have to play on grass, they make adjustments to their game.
Carson Daly would call you up.
He's suing the company for $375,000 in damages for the fall, and the company responded by saying that the floor presented no risk of injury.
That's on you, brother.
I guarantee you that this man has been in retirement for decades.
He's looking for cash.
That's
He's looking
right.
for a cash grab.
Come on.
He needs something to do.
Cornhole injury. I thought something much. That would be the coffee mug, is
Right,
what I was
exactly.
thinking.
That guy got a cornhole
That's
injury.
the cornhole injury to me.
That's how you don't want to wake up.
Our dumbass of the week comes to us from Sacramento. A man rear-ended an SUV that was stopped in traffic on the interstate. The crash was severe enough that the car he was driving burst into flames, forcing him and his female passenger to evacuate the car. A passing police officer turned around after seeing the blaze to help, but couldn't help but notice the man go back toward the burning car. It was later that he found out that the man did go back to his car to light a cigarette with the flames, causing him to singe his eyebrows.
By the way, that guy was shirtless.
Yes, he was.
Of course he was.
I mean, shirtless driver.
Shirtless guy is going to light a cigarette off of his burning vehicle.
I think shirtless driver always has cigarettes available, doesn't he?
But not a light.
Right.
That's what we found out.
And probably marijuana. Shirtless
Probably.
guy, shirtless driving guy.
This might shock you. He was arrested for drunk driving.
I would say he's got a half-open beer somewhere too.
A woman in Tennessee was forced to make her way to the hospital after she was bitten in the middle of the night by a brown recluse spider. She woke up in the middle of the night to find multiple bites on her body. She was having trouble swallowing, could not walk or move from the venom from the spider. She did make it to the hospital and is recovering, but is moving out of her apartment complex because she has since found upwards of 50 brown recluse spiders and traps that she has since the incident. That's it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time for the Drunken Charge. Ryan Castle into Sit and Spin. The return of the word profile this, and we'll drink and toast with a shot of the day.
Yes, indeed. It is all true, but in the meantime, we be all about this match. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.